zitten vragen wie
Alexander Isak reportedly remains Liverpool's transfer priority, despite rumblings of Liverpool making a pivot. It appears Isak remains the priority attacking signing for the Reds. Newcastle United arrive in Austria for pre-season tours with Liverpool facing off against Crystal Palace on Sunday in the Community Shield. The 2025-26 season is nearly upon us, and having agreed the sales of both Luis Diaz and Darwin Nuñez in recent weeks, it seems clear the Reds need at least one significant attacking signing in a hurry. If they're avoid going into it undermanned, the dream target has always been Newcastle's Alexander Isak. But with the weeks passing and Newcastle's inability to get in a replacement for the 25-year-old Sweden international, getting that transfer across the line seems, if anything, more difficult now than it did a month ago. Liverpool, though, remains focused on the task. That's the story, from club-connected Paul Joyce at the Times, who insists that Isak is the attacker Liverpool want to sign this summer. In part, the news seems a response to growing rumblings over the past 24 hours that the Reds could pivot to Paris Saint-Germain's versatile Euro 100 M+ forward Bradley Barcola. Other Liverpool sources have also sought to dampen the Barcola chatter. And while nobody has suggested he's a player the Reds wouldn't be interested in more broadly, it seems he may not be the target for this particular moment, with this particular moment being one where the Reds still want and believe they can sign Isak. If in the end it proves impossible to sign the Newcastle superstar, with an initial £110 bid having already rejected, and Newcastle valuing the player at around £150. MFE, the Reds, see as excessive then Liverpool will need to pivot. An attacker, after all, is very much needed. Rumour mongering. Newcastle want Liverpool target Mark Gahey Liverpool. Will need a centre-half before the transfer window slams shut, and Crystal Palace's England international is believed to be there. Top target, with Liverpool having already signed Newcastle-targeted striker Hugo Ekitike and pushing hard to steal superstar Alexander Isak away from the Magpies to add injury to insult. It could be the Northeast club will look to get one over. On the Reds, at another position, that's because the latest Care of the Times has Newcastle targeting Crystal Palace centre-half Mark Gahey, long rumoured to be Liverpool's top centre-half target, in a summer that sees the Reds down to 3 senior centre-halves. After shipping Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen, the good news for Liverpool is, even if Newcastle do want Gahey, just like the Reds there, said to be put off by Palace's £50 million valuation. It's said they would be comfortable paying £40 million for the 25-year-old England international. But that's a fee. Liverpool are also believed willing to pay Dot in a straight fight. One would rather imagine Liverpool would be the more appealing destination, and also likely willing to pay a higher wage. However, Newcastle would offer Gahey a much clearer path to guaranteed playing time in what will be a World Cup season at Liverpool. Gahey would be fighting Ibrahima Konaté to partner with Virgil van Dijk. At Newcastle, he would be first choice. For Liverpool, too, it's perhaps worth noting that as much as they do need to sign a centre-half, there are other plausible targets for the role they need to fill. Gahey's main appeal is likely third choice. Centre-half for the Reds would be his homegrown status. Meanwhile, striker Alexander Isak is at worst the second-best striker in the Premier League behind Manchester City's Erling Haaland and one of the top 5 at his position in Europe. It will be interesting, though, to see how it all plays out. Over the final month of the summer transfer window, with Liverpool having stolen Newcastle's top striker target and pushing to sign their current top striker, and now both clubs seemingly wanting Gahey. Darwin Nuñez, reportedly Al Hillo's top target, but no official bid yet. Darwin's transfer saga continues on, with now Saudi Arabia looking the likely landing place. The transfer saga of Darwin Nuñez continues, even as other suitors have dropped off the dance cards. Unfortunately, it appears more and more clear that our emotional Uruguayan striker won't be part of the club come August 31st, though his potential next step is a little less clear. David Ornstein of The Athletic reported on Sunday that Saudi Pro League club Al Hilal have begun the process of bringing Nuñez to the Middle East, although no official bid has been made yet. The article itself is paywalled. But there are additional reports that Al Hilal are willing to meet the bid. SBL club Al Nas sent in January. That bid was initially rejected as Liverpool were in the middle of the title chase and couldn't afford to let Nuñez go in the middle of the season. But if Al Hilal are willing to match the estimated €70 million, then Liverpool are likely to make the deal. This is all, of course, part of the domino effect of strikers moving across the leagues. With Victor Osimhen, Al Hilal's former top target, choosing Galatasaray over the Saudi club, and Alexander Isak and Benjamin Sesko also, formerly on their list, we know how the movements of those last two names might change the playing board depending on where they land. Darwin, to his credit, has been quiet and hard-working as all this has been going on, training with the squad and being part of nearly all summer friendlies. It really is unfortunate that it appears Europe doesn't want the talented guy. But hopefully, a year or so in Saudi Arabia doesn't ruin a promising career.